start.
Live recording. Good morning.
Good
Dosto
Good
kya
morning.
haal
morning.
hai? Yeah. Aaj, those who are familiar with this podcast, before we've had 2 episodes, me and Omar, and I think people have enjoyed them. And I actually have like 5 subscribers from that episode alone. जो पहली episode थी, फिर दूसरी थी. तो आज नया experiment है. We were able to track down our dear friend Farid Ahmad, who is in Ohio, and he's been there for 20 years.
Good
And
morning,
so
everyone,
we're,
and
yeah,
Happy New
Good
Year
yeah,
to
morning.
everybody, whoever's listening.
yeah. Go ahead, Farid. Tell us, how you started, how you went through school, and what's been going on. We sort of did
मतलब
that.
वो जो हम तो तुम्हें कॉलेज से जानते हैं, and we do not know where you came from Mars, from Krypton, from which place, and which most of us, we don't know about each other's life before our medical college. But I think that gives a good perspective into, who you are, and then we will also try to remember who you are. I do very clearly, but
Yeah,
So,
uh, let's get a little story of you before the college.
yeah. All women came from Venus. I don't know where I came from, but
women
Man.
are
I tell
from
you,
men are from
my
Mars, women are from Venus.
Mars.
Before he starts answering, Farid, I don't know if you guys remember this. Uh, this was
Ah,
the yearbook.
oh boy, I do.
So,
Yes,
Sme, I
final
saw
year.
this entry. Is this you?
Probably, yeah. Well, it doesn't say. Yes, that's me, Farid Ahmad.
इस्लामाबाद का
Yes,
इस्लामाबाद का एड्रेस है.
yes,
तुम्हारी
yes.
so
So let's.
मुझे
So
what
my parents were from India, and my dad was from Allahabad, and my mom was from Lucknow. So both UPNs basically, and they migrated like a lot of other people to Karachi. I believe in 1948. During that time. So my father was an accountant, and he had a government job there. And then his office, called Accountant General of Pakistan, got transferred to Punjab, and the district Jorabad, and the city was Sargodha.
hmm.
This where I was born. That was
Acha.
the place. Yes. So I was born in Punjab in Sargodha, and most of my life, I want to say I lived in Punjab, but if you include Islamabad as a part of Punjab, which technically is, but officially is not. So most of
why do
my,
you say that? Why do you say
well,
it's not officially?
officially it's like a federal capital area,
Yeah, yeah.
and
That's included for
yeah,
the sake of
but for
convenience.
the and then
It's like
we
Washington D.C. Yeah,
yeah, just like Washington D.C. Correct, correct.
yeah.
So my dad got a federal government job in Ministry of Interior as an accountant. Then, so he moved to Rawalpindi. Then I don't know if I know any good memories from Rawalpindi, but most of my memories schooling occurred in Islamabad. At a federal government school. Um, so about a mile and a half from where I lived, walk to the school and get educated there. 10th grade, then went to the college in Islamabad, did my fellowship, higher secondary school, you call it. And then my father got retired during that time, and we moved to Karachi. And lo and behold, I got into Sindh Medical College, and that's where the story starts.
Yeah.
That's where I know you guys so well, and rest is history.
So,
We are here.
So
so
Islamabad ki life. Sorry, Salik. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, how long had you lived in Karachi before you started medical school?
Uh, Less than a year.
Acha.
Yeah, so in 1983, I think we started med school. Yeah,
Well,
1982,
82,
82. That's where I, did finish my FSC, and then
Yeah.
we moved to Karachi, and then, you know, So actually two of my brothers still live in Islamabad, and my younger brother still works for Ministry of Interior. The one who's older to me, he just got retired from AQ Khan Commission, KRL. He was a scientific, person there. So I don't really know what he actually did, but nobody knows. But he got retired from there, and then so I belong to a family of government servants. My dad was at least, and he passed away in 2008, and my mom did earlier. So
Oh, sorry to hear
yeah.
that.
Salih, he lived in Islamabad at the time when Islamabad was so pretty. Do you remember, Salih? When we went there, when you enter Islamabad, there were two rows of flowers on the main
Main road.
avenue. Oh
Yeah.
my God, it was so pretty.
So it's not like
Uh,
that anymore.
Not
no,
like
not
that
like that
anymore.
anymore. No.
Oh, what
Yeah,
happened?
Islamabad used to be different, clean, and as Umar said, very decorated and clean, and
City of
yeah,
gardens.
What happened was the Afghan war ended. That's what happened.
Oh,
All the money coming in to
money
keep those
dried up.
flowers alive
yeah.
have
Yeah.
gone. Mm.
But I thought that greenery is natural. I still have cousins and
It's
uncles that
green,
live
but
there.
it's not well kept. It was very
It's
well
not.
kept.
It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
clean.
Like
Mm.
any other city, which when it's expanded, they couldn't control
Yeah.
the population. They
Yeah.
just
Mm.
keep expanding. I mean, it still is beautiful comparing to the other cities in Pakistan. It's still beautiful. The weather is nicer. The terrain is beautiful. But the greenery is not as green as it used to be, obviously. But still, I still love Islamabad as being the place where I originated, or got
Mm.
educated
So
initially.
when you came to Karachi from Islamabad, what did you leave behind? Any girlfriends? Any memories? Any?
Yeah, lot of friends. We still are. Some of them, we and it's interesting. You at my time we used to have not a lot of friends, and obviously probably guys will concur about that. But the friends we had were real friends. They
Ah.
probably know everything about you, and you know everything about them. And I'm still in contact with two of those. One still in Islamabad, and the other was in Sweden. And I actually met him last year when I was traveling
Mm.
to Amsterdam. I went to
So
Sweden
two
to meet him.
special childhood friends.
You got it, man. I mean, those
Yeah.
are just like close to heart, and they're the true friends you want to say. And
You shied away from my question. You.
I dodged that. यार हमारे
Still,
जमाने में उमर you know how that concept was. वो जैसे कहते हैं ना मन ही मन में था. Once
मन ही मन में अब देखो ना अब ये थोड़ा थोड़ा खुल रहा है मन ही मन में
Well, you would have to be, uh,
जो है तन तक नहीं आ पाता था बस मन ही मन में रहता
uh,
लेकिन
well,
चलो
that's a fact, isn't it?
I mean,
लेकिन
that's a
पता
whole.
है ये होता है साले के कॉलेज के अंदर जाहिर है मतलब मैं जाती तौर पे तुम तो फिर भी बहुत बहुत पढ़ाकू थे मैं तो चूंकि बहुत अर्ली उससे पॉलिटिक्स में तो मेरे अतराफ में जो दोस्त ज्यादातर वो थे जो एक्टिविस्ट या ये कि पॉलिटिक्स में
Yeah.
तो उस क्या हुआ कि उस ज़माने के अंदर पॉलिटिक्स
Yeah.
कर देंगे, तो मैं बहुत से लोगों से दूर हो गया था। मतलब यानी क्लास के जो ऐसे लोग थे, वो ज़रा जो कतराते थे बात करते हुए, करीब आते हुए, उनको लगता था कि ये तो भई हमें मतलब इसके साथ रहेंगे तो कोई गोली लग जाएगी, मरवा देगा। लेकिन बाद में जब मैं हाउस जॉब की और मैं थोड़ा पॉलिटिक्स से पीछे उसके अंदर जो चंद लोग मुझे स्ट्राइक करते हैं ना, कि मैं सोचता हूँ यार काश इनसे पहले दोस्ती होती मेरी। उनमें एक फरीद था। क्योंकि
Sure.
Umar,
हाँ,
yeah.
क्योंकि मैं इसको तेरा कॉलेज ऑफ फिजिशियंस एंड सर्जन्स के अंदर मैं जो है वो जाता था पढ़ने के लिए एफसीपीएस पार्ट 1 के लिए जो है प्रिया पैदा हो गई थी। मैं घर से दूर रहता था। हमारी अम्मा ने उस ज़माने में मेरे उनसे ऐसा हिसाब-किताब चल रहा था, गाड़ी और हर चीज़ बैन की हुई। तो मुझे घर जाना होता था, तो मैं कहता था यार मैं घर कैसे जाऊँगा? फरीद के पास एक बाइक खड़ी होती थी वहाँ, मुझे अभी तक याद है 125 काले रंग की जो है। मैंने कहा फरीद यार मुझे बाइक कहता है ये ले चाबी। मुझे
Wow.
आज तक नहीं भूलता कि वो इसकी बाइक देना और उसकी चाबी जो मैं घर जाता था, फैमिली से मिलके वापस आता था और ये कभी भी ये नहीं था कि एक तो हो रहा है ना कि हाँ ठीक है दे दूंगा, नहीं 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 ये ले चाबी, जा बॉस मिल के आ जा। तो
Oh,
ये जो फरीद जो है ये बहुत दोस्त और बहुत अच्छा आदमी था, में अच्छे थे, लेकिन हमारे यहाँ चूंकि इस तरह का सिस्टम हो गया था ना, लोग जरा यानी जो कतराते थे ऐसे लोगों से करीब आने में, उनमें जो पॉलिटिक्स में, ये मुझे अफसोस बाद में रहा कि रजा से कई और दोस्त बाद में बने कि यार काश इससे पहले दोस्ती
Well,
mm.
it's kind of you to remember, Umar. And I tell you the truth, a lot of things from that part, I didn't really remember like a memory. I remember what you just said, but I tell you, I mean, it's when you come to this country and when you struggle, go through the residency, and I was one of those people who were not able to give flex and I had to give USMLE 1, 2, and 3 during my residency. So I really, doing my, residency PGY 1, 2, during that time I passed my, step 1, 2, 3, and then got into obviously. But, alhamdulillah, we got through what we got through. So that part kind of went into so much background. Then you got married and you're raising your family, kids, and there was so much on your plate. And so you're no, I shouldn't say struggling. We were really blessed to be here in the best country in the world, in the best profession, and
There
it
you
should be
go.
thankful. We should be thankful. But so it was the real work we all did. Obviously,
शादी किससे की?
शादी की यार मैंने अपनी पसंद से की.
अच्छा
Somehow she was in the school of physical therapy, and she's a physical therapist. She happened to be my second cousin, my dad's first cousin.
अच्छा
He was a postmaster general. I liked her from very childhood. Uh,
मान नहीं, मैं समझ
I'm
रहा हूँ,
just
मैं सब समझ रहा हूँ
exposing
मैं,
myself here. So anyway, so we got
but
married.
I'm glad that you
Uh,
got to get married to somebody
yeah,
whom you really really
really, I
और
liked
ये
her.
फिजिकल थेरेपी की वजह से ही है कि तुम बस भागते रहते हो,
यार नहीं
नहीं
फिजिकल
तुम्हें पता
थेरेपी
है कि जब
सर.
थकोगे तो घर आओगे और
Yeah.
मालिश हो.
Yeah, running is interesting. And now you said that living in Islamabad and
हम्म,
belonging to a middle class, quote unquote family, which I'm very proud of. We used to walk. I didn't have the privilege of owning a bike or a car for that matter. We used to walk to school, and a lot of time we used to walk to college. And and in those days the terrain was beautiful, the weather was beautiful, and we used to walk from our home to Faisal Masjid, and then
हम्म,
we walked to all the mountains over there. And then when we used to climb those mountains, go to villages between those mountains, Margala Hills. So that
हम्म,
kind of enticed
Yeah.
me from the very get go about hiking, running, and just
हम्म,
never thought that. And then coming to med school, obviously the weather of Karachi, the terrain of Karachi, and then the studying so hard. Obviously, we all did. So that, but then I was still running some track there in Karachi. एक कॉलेज था नॉर्थ नाजमाबाद में, यार क्या नाम था उसका, लाइब्रेरी भी थी, तो वो they had a track there with a cricket ground, so I used to go and run sometime.
हम्म.
But it didn't, and then kind of went away and died until I finished my residency and fellowship as well during those struggle time. I did some walking, running, but it was not until I did my waiver in the beautiful state of Oregon. It would be for me, I wouldn't have
Oh,
never left it. I was lucky to get into a waiver into a veterans hospital in beautiful city of Roseburg in Oregon. And
हम्म,
Oregon is the state. It's called Track City, America.
अच्छा
Eugene, America is called Track City, America. So a lot of runners come from that part of the world, of our country here. So I tend to see a lot of people running, and then I had some time working in a VA hospital. So I got into running late in my late mid 30s to late 30s, and then I really when I moved to this town, finishing my 3 years of waiver there, and I kind of chose Toledo as a mid-sized town. I never wanted to go back to Chicago, just being so big, and I kind of realized the reality of life living in a big city doesn't serve the purpose of your being itself. So I don't want to spend time on the roads and freeways and paying tolls and anyway. So I chose Toledo. It's a mid-sized town. It's a beautiful place, still in Midwest, closer to my family in Toronto. Anyway, so when I moved to Toledo, I found a lot of friends and groups who are runners. Obviously, pretty much all of them are local Americans here. So they that's when I started running. Started with 10Ks and then eventually to half marathons and got into long distance running, and that really I'm still so indulged in that I just don't want to leave that
Awesome.
part. Yeah, very privileged, alhamdulillah. So
So,
that's the running part of my story. And
so do you do any of that Ironman stuff?
no, yeah, I do swim. I actually swim with the master swimmers in Northwest Ohio, a USMS they call it. And I tried. I have to confess that I'm not a good swimmer in open water. And
Yeah.
I was never was a swimmer. I used to swim in Islamabad for a little bit, but obviously they don't have any structural ground for big swimming pools there. But anyway, so I'm kind of got me a little bit away from the open water swimming for running, swimming for a mile
Yeah.
there. So I never
Yeah.
got into. I have done a few, what you call it, as triathlons, which is about 400 meters, but never got into an Ironman. I just
No,
probably I want.
because where I live, Chattanooga is just 30 miles from here. So it's pretty hilly. It has a river, and it's one of the best places in the world. And they have the Ironman and the half Ironman and the triathlons. All of them. People come from all over the world here. So excellent bicycle tracks and the river for swimming, and then all the mountains for hiking. So
Yeah,
it's like
Tennessee,
yeah, East
very,
Tennessee,
very
it's all
famous.
very hilly. It's
Yeah,
kind of like where Umar is, Hazard at the time. It's all this area is more developed, I think, but at least back then. I haven't been in Lexington since 2007. But what were
thinking.
you doing in Chicago?
So Chicago, I did my residency there at Chicago
Okay.
Med School, and then I did my fellowship in GI at Loyola. Then I did an
Oh,
extra
okay.
year for interventional endoscopy there.
Yeah.
So I finished that. Then I went to state of Oregon, stayed there 3 years, and then since we moved to Toledo in 2004, and got stuck here, and kids grew up here, and my older daughter got married here now, and my son's working for CDC. He's one of the lead researchers on influenza vaccine in Atlanta.
Sure.
Is he
So
a physician or a
no,
PhD?
he's a public health master's in public health, and
Master's.
then so he's doing well. My youngest one just got into school of pharmacy here in town, so I'm pretty much done with kids. So
Kids.
she's the only responsibility I have. But
What about grandkids? You have any?
I have one
Not yet.
grandkid. His name is Isa. He's going to be turning 2 years, inshallah, this month in January. And I wish I had showed you the pictures. I don't have at the moment.
तो अब तुम्हें हम
Yeah.
जो मामा पहले ना कहते हैं
Nana.
ना मामा फरीद से नहीं अब दादा फरीद हो गए
Nana,
हैं
Nana Farid, yeah. I'm a Nana. He called me.
Yeah.
He called me
ना ना
Nana.
अच्छा
So,
That's
there's
good.
the stages of life. And
So you had to do ECFMG, got the residency, and the flex was closed at that point. So you
that
had
is
to.
correct. 1993 was the last flex. I didn't realize. So I started my residency in 94. And then I had to give
Oh
all
boy.
three. It was really tough time. But, knock on wood, alhamdulillah, we got through those. It's all
Yeah.
history.
See, part
Yeah.
of the reason I was motivated to do this, and I'm glad Umar supported it, is that our stories will go away. You know, our children may never realize what we went through. And if we don't put this out there somewhere, it'll go with us, what we went through.
So
S-
true.
yeah, I mean, I guess you were married by the time you started your residency?
Yes, I was married, and and you rightly said that it's the first generation immigrants. Everyone has a story,
Yeah,
and the beauty about this country is it just takes into their lap, and they
yeah.
literally. I mean, we felt at home after such a while, and then we struggle, yes, but it paid off. Knock on wood. Everybody, that's the
सबकी
Land of
जो
opportunities.
सबकी माँ ने जो है ना शादी करके भेजा था बच्चों को कि ऐसा ना हो कि गोरी कोई कोई से गोरी से फंस जाए उसको फंसा ले
you know
जिसका इंटरव्यू करोगे वो यही बताएगा जब मैं
you
आया था
know
मेरी
you're
शादी हो गई थी
you're
Yeah.
100% right, Umar. My mom told me you have to get married before you go.
I,
देखा
I, I was not married, but I was engaged.
Okay,
Uh,
you were tied up.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
मुझे
Quite
तुम्हारे
पसंद कर
मैराथन से
दिया था.
मुझे मुझे
Many
तुम्हारे
travel.
मैराथन रनिंग से मुझे एक वाकया याद आया बहुत मजे का जो है ना हम लोग रहते थे कराची यूनिवर्सिटी में तो वहां पे स्पोर्ट्स होते थे जिसके अंदर वही स्प्रिंट रनिंग तो हमारे दो मतलब बहुत अच्छे स्प्रिंट रनर थे दोनों के दोनों केकड़े थे बिल्कुल दुबले पतले ना एक का नाम था चांदी भाई और एक था आसिम तो जो रनिंग हमेशा वो लोग कांटे के लेकिन आसिम जो है ही जस्ट गॉट फर्स्ट प्राइज ये 2 दिन बाद सारा उसको उनको वो जो मिल गया सारा तमगा तो लोगों ने बताया कि एक वाकया हुआ जिसके अंदर चांदी भाई जो है वो भागते-भागते आसिम से क्योंकि चांदी भाई के घर में साथ में एक जो है ना वो बुलडॉग था जो कि रखते थे वो। तो बुलडॉग वहाँ से फ्री हुआ, आसिम और चांदी दोनों बैठे हुए थे पुलिया पे। जैसे ही बुलडॉग फ्री होके दोनों की तरफ भागा, आसिम पीछे रह गया, चांदी भाई आगे निकल गए। तो लोगों ने कहा एक्चुअल रनर चांदी भाई का जो ट्रू निकल के आया वो सब निकल के आया जब उनके पीछे
No,
बुलडॉग लगाए।
no, you get chased by dogs. That's so right.
अब मुझे नहीं पता तुम्हारा इंसेंटिव क्या है तेज़ भागने का, लेकिन
Yeah,
मेरा
do
आज भी
do
यही है।
incentive, Umar. The one first incentive is if a beautiful girl running ahead of you, that's the first incentive,
पर ये
and the
हुई ना
second
बात।
is the dog running behind you. So, so the
सही बात
but
है।
that's joke being aside. I got chased by dogs, and I got picked up on biking during COVID years because all those marathons got canceled. I was going to run Chicago for the second time in 2020. But then obviously the Chicago Marathon got canceled, and that's but anyway, so I picked up on biking, and I really like to add that to my resume. That so far I have like 4 bikes, 2 road bikes on a mountain, and a gravel bike. I was with texting with Salik the other day, but it's just an amazing to get into sports and get the high, or what you call eventually dopamine, and then somehow serotonin gets into your system. You can't think of going without it anymore. It
हुँ।
just becomes part of your life. So it's amazing. These
Yeah.
sports are, yeah.
You hit the word dopamine. It's all about dopamine. It's all right there and there.
लेकिन सालिक अगर जो कुत्ता पीछे हो तो इट्स एड्रेनालिन ओके
That fight
Yeah.
flight reaction, fight flight.
Fight. Yeah. Fight or flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
तुम्हें कॉलेज से क्या याद आता है कॉलेज से कोई ऐसा वाकया तुम्हारा जो क्योंकि तुम उनके साथ थे ना यू वर विद गयास एंड दैट
And
ग्रुप
Zayas and
Harun oh my
yes,
god
yeah,
he was a walking you know
yeah.
uh, happy person
So yeah, we obviously had a great time with our group, and वो parallel group होता था clinics में, और वो हमारा था कलीम सलीम.
हाँ
So it was, the story of its own. I mean, there's so many incidences. I was thinking about it. Actually, last night I was thinking about a great incident. It was funny. The thing is, जब residency कर रहे थे, house job. So
हम्म हम्म
Yeah.
हम्म
and somehow they were discussing a a piece of paper Pervez Ashraf was holding, and it has some labs in it, and he kind of somehow handed over to me. Farid, what's the diagnosis?
Hmm.
And I said the fluid analysis, WBC count, and whatever that was, and I said, sir, meningitis. उसने मेरी तरफ देखा. He took away the sheet back and this is the CSF fluid. Oh, sorry, this is the urine analysis. I
Urine,
take it.
urine
That was
analysis.
urine
Ah,
analysis. I was like,
this
oh my
is.
god. I was like, so,
Well, without him telling you what fluid it was,
Ah.
how
well,
would he expect to?
and that is
Hmm.
so right. I think he kind of judged that I was running late, and
Late. He was
yes,
judged. You were
he wa-
late. I know Parvez Ashraf.
He
he
was
got
He
me
saw you.
there,
he
and
was trying to put you on the spot.
he put me on
Hmm.
the spot, and वो हाथ से लिखा होता था WBC count इतना है. You remember how to you we check the potassium वो यूं करके हम
Oh,
देखते थे
yeah,
potassium.
we all had to do 1 month in the lab.
Yes.
जब मैं वार्ड 5 में था तो हर किसी की रोटेशन लगती थी. एक महीना आप सुबह उठ के तो लैब सिरिंजेस ले राउंड्स के आपको पकड़ा देते थे स्लिप्स कि भाई इस बेड का ये लेना है, इस बेड का ये लेना है. सो स्प्यूटम और यूरिन और ब्लड तो खैर केमिस्ट्री लैब में जाता था, लेकिन हीमोग्लोबिन खुद करते थे. वाइट काउंट, वो एक वो काउंटर होता था, उसमें माइक्रोस्कोप के नीचे स्लाइड, फिर उसको पर फील्ड, पर हाई पावर फील्ड कितने WBC और न्यूट्रोफिल ये देखें.
Yeah,
उसको
we used
हम
to judge it. Yeah.
हाँ, जो सैफरनिन और उसके डाई के अंदर वो
या
करके उसके बाद उसको जब रख के इवन हम लोगों का था कि जो मलेरियल पैरासाइट जो है वो आप
या
आरबीसी के अंदर आइडेंटिफाई करके हम
या
मलेरिया डायग्नोज कर लें उस लैब के अंदर जो है
ये सब कुछ याद है फाइनल प्रोफेशनल एग्जाम में.
हाँ.
मुझे अभी
Yeah.
भी याद है
Yeah.
5 में क्या क्या चीज़ें
Blood group देखते थे.
याद है.
I used to work for SBTU, students blood
Ah, you
transfusion
used to
unit.
be part of,
Yeah.
actually, you were
Yeah.
part of the SBTU
Yes.
with
Yes.
the
Yeah.
the great Salman Najma. I
Salman
remember that.
Ajman. Yes. So yeah, I used to be part of the trio, and so yeah, we did a lot of work there. Actually, Salman Ajma used to be the main. I just don't wanna put myself ahead of them. They were the main soul of the SBT, and but I did work with them for quite a few years, and we used to do all those blood grouping and campaigns for blood donations and all those things. Yes.
वो सामने ही था ना, वो सामने ही था. मैं
That's where I saw a small place and it had a, like a tin door. And I said, okay, we'll make this a PSF office. So NSF people came in and said, no, we won't allow you to do that. I said, okay, you won't allow us to do that. I said, let's get the best room in the college and make it our PSF office. So the best room with wooden walls and awesome everything was the SBTU office, right where you came down from the store. So we put our lock on there. We said PSF, all that. And guess what happened? Salma Najma came in. And oh my God, she and somehow they escaped me. They went on Shahid, and they were and Shahid was standing like that, and they just, why did you take our office? But that was their office actually, which later on it became a PSF office. Now I remember.
see see how that's what I'm hoping to create, is generate memories that are back there
Mm.
somewhere and to come out.
Yeah, it
Once
comes
it's
out.
out
You're
there,
right.
yeah. Once it,
Alec, you were with Taya, right?
Yes,
Gayas Taya,
yeah,
yes.
right?
I am my
Do you
Tata.
remember Taya? Do you remember Taya coming and showing us a picture of he has been engaged to a girl in Nigeria and his parents knew. He created a whole story that he got engaged with a family friend and that who and she lives in Nigeria and she showed us a picture of a Nigerian girl in a bikini
nice.
and he told it to everybody. Now everybody's like, Ghyas, what happened? What? And he was crying and so serious about it. He extended it for almost a week, and we all, sat and mourned with him, and so wrongly.
But,
So now we
right.
can think about
Yeah.
it.
That was one of the days, man.
Think of people that you would like to invite, in the
Ah,
future. And I can have up to 8 guests. Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be
Sure.
nice if we have.
plus me. Yeah.
Yeah,
So कितनी stories आएंगी उसमें से, and gets kind of stimulates you. So
it
if
sure does.
you
Yeah.
if you would like, let me know. I can, as I said, I can do up to 8 guests at one time.
Umar Shahid
Sadiq, let's
Masood ko
ask
bulao.
him about his. He started studying about philosophy. He just told me that a few years ago he went into uh, studying philosophy and Rumi and other philosophers. So, Farid, How did it change your life? Obviously, it didn't affect running, but what else did it do?
And as a part of running, and eventually when you achieve, alhamdulillah, what you want to achieve in life matter, you eventually realize. And I always was intrigued by the reality of your being. And I always used to think, and by the way, I belong to a family of Sufis, quote unquote, and my dad was a Sufi, and so is my father's side. All of them were Sufis, and they belong to the anyway. So I don't know if it has anything to do with that, because I'm not really into religious part of that, but I was always for a spiritual part of it was in my genes, and I always used to think, why am I here? Who really I am? What the heck? I was born, and I have this life. I'm getting older, and eventually I'm going to disappear. So you
Mm,
gotta find who you really are, and that got me into studying about it a little bit. And run kind of helped me, because running is just so meditating, and like quiet by yourself and solo running, and used to think a lot, and and ponder a lot, and eventually, so I started. Rumi came later into the play, and his philosophy is no different than any other philosophy. For that same reason, I believe no religion is different than any other religion, they all come from the same same source. You want to say that, as Rumi famously said, the source of light could be different, but the light is the same. The brightness is the same. So whether you belong to Hinduism or Buddhism or Christianity or Judaism, or being a Muslim, I think their origin, if you believe in that, they all came from the same, and the teachings are all the same. If you look into the
यार
non-duality.
सीधी सीधी बात बताओ, कुछ पता लगा कि कौन है?
Yes, I kind of, I obviously, you never know. Rumi famously said, "If I know a drop of reality, I would die happily of drunk." But the reality is that your being, and I got into, just as a side to tell you, I got into through that I got into quantum physics, and the
Hmm.
quantum physics have revolutionized, what mystics and philosophers been saying for thousands of years. The quantum physics have proven that, right. Interestingly, they're talking the same language and same shit now. So
Hmm.
basically, what it is, the matter does not exist as matter, as a mass, anything us and outside of us. And it's not just the philosophy or the reality, it's just the quantum physics saying that we all made of atoms, and atoms is an empty space. There's nothing there. It's all energy. It's all waves, and we are just a part of it. The energy. We have a different frequencies. The trees have a different frequencies, and everything around us as a matter. We are all in one, and that oneness of being is the oneness of God, and that's what Advaita Vedanta says. That's what Prophet Muhammad said, and that's what Buddha said, and that's what the basis, all the oneness of being is aligned with the whole universe, quote unquote, and and that is just your being is your or you want to call the spirit of your being, because your being as a mass, as a body, is not there. It's just an
चलो
illusion.
मैं सबको
It's just
जो
an illusion.
साहिर लुधियानवी के एक शेर के साथ समराइज करने की कोशिश करता हूँ कि मट्टी का एक सपना हूँ, फिर मट्टी में सो जाऊंगा.
Wow,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful. And that is
Well,
that's exactly right. And the Rumi said, खुद रिंद सुबह खश्क खुद बरसर एक आकूज खरीदार बरामद. That means, आप मट्टी हैं और मट्टी का कूजा भी आप ही हैं, और मट्टी में जो पीता है वो भी आप ही हैं, और जो उसको तोड़ देता है वो भी आप ही हैं. You just all one. You, me, Salik, anybody else around us, we are all one in spirituality. That is such a being, and that's your being, Umar. You asked what I found, and obviously I'm just a student, and nobody would ever get to the actual reality. But we are all one in our oneness. You and me are no different. That
बस
is
प्यार मोहब्बत की सालिक, इसी प्यार मोहब्बत की बात पे मेरा ख्याल है हम सब एक हैं. कि टाइम भी हमारा वो हो गया है. अगर आपको कोई सवाल है मजीद.
no, I'm just gonna say the thought came to my mind. The
अच्छा.
song by U2, and
हाँ.
I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
वाह वाह. या
Yeah,
या
yeah.
it's a pretty interesting
बिल्कुल.
lyrics to
You
that
know
और
song.
यही खूबसूरती है, यही खूबसूरती है
Yeah, that
जिंदगी.
I have looked everywhere. I
हम्म.
have found not myself. Still haven't found.
No,
चलो.
that is right. Your being is peace, and you exhibit that peace and calm as joyfulness and happiness. So once you know that your being is peace, and that's when once you taste it, that transcendence into that is just amazing. Obviously, out of this world experience, but it's a long discussion. It will probably never
I
end.
can I can sense some influence from Deepak Chopra.
चोपड़ा.
Is that you listen to him?
Oh yes, indeed. I read his book, and I read his, actually, in this day and age, and there's so many audiobooks, and there's so much to listen, even on YouTube. You just name a topic, you go to YouTube, and the AI. I mean, you can read so much. You don't really need to hand over that paper book anymore. And then you can just learn so much out of this technology. It's
मेरे
amazing.
एक फिलोसफर, एक जो कराची यूनिवर्सिटी में टीचर थे, फिलोसफर डॉक्टर हसन जफर आरिफ. मैं उनसे पूछा ऐसे ही ना कि उनकी किताबें तो बेइंतहा आ गई थी उस जमाने में, तो स्कॉलरशिप्स और बुक्स और वो इट्स लाइक नेवर एंडिंग. तो मैंने उनसे पूछा कि बुक्स के बारे में, पढ़ने के बारे में, कि कौन सी किताब पढ़नी. कहने लगे देखो किताबें तो इतनी हैं कि तुम परेशान हो जाओगे, लेकिन किताब बहुत कम होती हैं कि जिनको आप पढ़ के आप वाकई समझते हैं कि आपने अपने इल्म में, आपने अपनी इल्म को हासिल करने की सलाहियत में जो है वो इजाफा किया है. तो ये बात जो है वो उसको कैसे हम पहुंचे, तलाश करें कि इतने बड़े कहते हैं ना ओशन ऑफ नॉलेज के अंदर जो है वो हमारा जो है वो राइट गाइडेंस और राइट जजीरा जिसके ऊपर हम जाके जो है तलाश करें कि सही किताब पढ़ना बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. क्योंकि मैंने कहा ना, हर आदमी इस वक्त लिख रहा है और हर आदमी इस वक्त कह रहा है, लेकिन उसके अंदर वही बात है. It's an art, just like so many other things. So I wish you the best in your pursuit
Yeah.
of everything.
I just want to
So
say one maybe last word about Rumi said, and you said about right, the reading or learning, but Rumi said silence is the language of God. All else is a poor translation. So when you go to your silence, not just the external or sound or silence, the silence of thoughts. When thoughts ends, there is something when you don't think, and that something is who you really are. So that's just something to
Profound.
ponder.
right.
Profound.
सही है सालिक.
Yeah. All right. So
Such a pleasure.
shall we conclude with any thoughts on who we might want to invite the next time?
Next time मैं
Anybody.
अभी एक्चुअली मैं डैलस में, सालिक, I came to Dallas and there was a
Yeah.
actually असमा का क्लास फेलो है फुरकान. He actually is a neonatologist, and what he showed me, to me it was, क्योंकि मैं बिल्कुल adult medicine में हूँ, uh, they are saving now little kids like 22 months onwards.
22 weeks. 22 weeks. Yeah.
पाम के बराबर
Yeah.
बच्चा, और उसके बाद उसकी तस्वीर when he's 6 years old and playing. और उसने अपनी जो मुझे वो बताई है लाइफ, he lives very close by to the hospital because he has to run, go back. It's all
Yeah.
about changing the vent settings and all that, and how they're saving such little kids. And
Yeah.
how in Pakistan, when he went for 2 years, it was so financially difficult for parents to support those 5 days or 6 days in ICU to save their kids. I think that it's a very interesting aspect of life. तो मैंने कहा था कि उसको फुरकान को ना, कि मैंने
Yeah.
कहा we will put you on the list and let's go ahead and
Yeah.
bring him in
Yeah,
next time.
I can do this any afternoon, you know, if I'm
Perfect.
not
No,
working.
chalo, sahi.
So just utilize this format, and it's really. I got in touch with Akbar and Tekchand and
Acha.
Ghulam Murtaza. So Akbar and Tekchand and us all came to New York at the same time. Murtaza went, I think, to Florida, and Tekchand did his surgical residency also in Brooklyn, and then me
Acha.
and Akbar were at the same hospital doing the surgical residency.
Mm.
So, you know, we used to go and hang around New York, and also we had very good times. They have agreed to be on there.
Preferred both of you.
And now, you know, we should get together at our place in Brooklyn, Michigan. Yeah, yeah. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Da Hafiz.